Ronaldo's most ice-cold penalties in the Champions League. Snowflake GOAT. The stadium is shaking. 80,000 voices whistle in unison. The goalkeeper dances on the line, stretching his gloves, trying to look bigger than he feels. The scoreboard shows the tie hanging by a thread. One kick decides everything. One mistake ends the dream. And then he steps forward. No rush, no panic, no emotion, just breath, just belief, just Cristiano Ronaldo. This isn't just about penalties. This is about moments when pressure could crush a career, and instead, he turned them into statements. These are the most ice-cold penalties in the history of the Champions League. The meaning of ice-cold. Before we dive into the moments, understand this: a penalty in the Champions League is not just a shot from 12 yards. It's psychology. It's noise. It's history. It's legacy. In domestic leagues, you can miss and recover next week. In Europe, especially in knockouts, a miss can define a season. A miss can define a reputation. Yet year after year, on Europe's loudest nights, Ronaldo walked to the spot like it was training. Why? Because he mastered three things: ritual, breath, ownership of the moment. And when you study his Champions League penalties closely, a pattern emerges. The first statement: Manchester United era. Before the Real Madrid dominance. Before the hat tricks. Before the inevitable aura. There was a young Ronaldo at Manchester United FC learning how to carry expectation. 2008 Champions League Final, Moscow. The rain fell in sheets. The pitch was slick. The opponent, Chelsea FC. He had already scored in the match. Now came the shootout. He stepped up. Pause. Stutter. Strike. Saved. For a moment, it seemed like the pressure had finally cracked him. But here's what people forget. He didn't collapse. He didn't hide. When John Terry slipped and missed for Chelsea, Ronaldo's teammates carried on. And when Edwin van der Sar saved the final penalty, Ronaldo fell to his knees, not in relief from failure, but from survival. That miss didn't break him. It built him. From that moment on, penalties became something else entirely. The Real Madrid transformation. When Ronaldo joined Real Madrid CF, the expectation multiplied by 10. In Spain, they don't just want wins. They want dominance. And in the Champions League, the competition Madrid considers its birthright, every penalty was political. Every kick mattered. 2012 semifinal versus Bayern Munich. Opponent, FC Bayern Munich. Stage, semifinal. Weight, immense. He scored during normal time. But in the shootout, he stepped up again. This time, saved. Back-to-back shootout heartbreaks in Europe. Many players would change their technique. Lose confidence. Overthink. Ronaldo did the opposite. He simplified. He removed hesitation. He removed doubt. And from that point forward, something changed. The ice era begins. 2014 semifinal versus Bayern Munich. Same opponent. Same stage. But this wasn't the same Ronaldo. This was a machine. He scored from the spot with absolute authority. No drama. No theatrics. Just power and placement. It wasn't just a goal. It was a message. The 2012 version was gone. This version had ice in his veins. The penalty that sealed La Decima. 2014 final versus Club Atletico de Madrid. The game was already decided late. Madrid were in control. But when the penalty was awarded, the symbolism mattered. He stepped up. 4-1. He removed his shirt. He roared. Was it the highest pressure penalty of his career? Maybe not. But it was the moment that confirmed something. Ronaldo wanted the final word. Even when the trophy was secure. The Atletico pattern. If there's one team that felt the coldest version of Ronaldo from the spot in Europe, it was Atletico Madrid. Time and time again, the Champions League draw paired them together. And time again, Ronaldo punished them. 2016 final, Milan. Another shootout. Another final. Against Atletico. He demanded the fifth penalty, the one that decides everything. Think about that. Not first. Not second. Fifth. The highest pressure kick in a shootout. If he misses, Madrid lose. He didn't. Calm run up. Strong strike. Net. Game over. That is ice. The Juventus moment. 2018 quarterfinal. Opponent, Juventus FC. Stadium, Turin. Last minute. Aggregate on the line. Penalty awarded after a controversial call. The stadium exploded in anger. Whistles. Booing. Chaos. He placed the ball. He stepped back. He looked up. And he buried it. Not just scored. Buried it. Top corner. Minimal celebration. Because for him, that wasn't drama. That was expectation. Technique under pressure. Why are his Champions League penalties so reliable in pressure moments? 1. Body position. Ronaldo stays upright longer than most takers. That allows him to adjust at the last second. 2. Power-first mentality. He prioritizes strike quality. Even if the goalkeeper guesses correctly, the ball often travels too fast. 3. Visual lock. He locks onto the goalkeeper's movement, not the noise behind him. 4. Routine consistency. Same number of steps, same breath, same pause. Pressure doesn't disrupt ritual. The 2017 knockout dominance. 2017 was peak inevitability. Against FC Bayern Munich again in the quarter-finals, he converted under extreme tension. Against Atletico in the semi-final, he destroyed them with goals, and if a penalty was needed, you already knew the outcome. Goalkeepers began diving early, because waiting meant helplessness. Ice versus mind games. Many penalty takers rely on deception. Ronaldo relies on authority. He doesn't try to trick. He imposes. The message is simple: I will hit this cleanly. If you save it, congratulations. Very few did. The psychological edge. By 2018, something fascinating had happened. Goalkeepers feared him before he even kicked. When a keeper fears, they gamble. When they gamble, they guess. And when they guess wrong against Ronaldo, the net barely moves. Juventus years, same ice, different shirt. After transferring to Juventus, some wondered, would it be different without Madrid's aura? Champions League night, penalty awarded. He stepped up. Same stance, same breath, same result. Because ice travels with the man, not the badge. What makes a most ice cold penalty? Not all penalties are equal. The coldest ones share. Late timing, 80th minute or later. Knockout stage. Away crowd hostility. 1-goal margins. Historical rivalry. Ronaldo has multiple that check all 5 boxes. That's not luck. That's mentality. The silence after the strike. Watch closely. The coldest part isn't always the kick. It's the reaction. Often, Ronaldo doesn't sprint wildly. He turns. He breathes. He stares. Because he expected it. And expectation under pressure is terrifying for opponents. Legacy of ice. In Champions League history, many legends took penalties. Few demanded the decisive ones repeatedly. Ronaldo didn't hide behind teammates. He volunteered. He owned. He finished. Why these moments matter? When people debate greatness, they count goals. But pressure goals are different currency. Anyone can score at 3-0. Very few can score at 1-1 in the 93rd minute away from home in a hostile stadium. That's where ice is forged. The final image. Imagine this. The ball on the spot. The crowd roaring. The goalkeeper bouncing. The tie balanced. Ronaldo steps back. The whistle blows. Strike. Net. Silence. That silence is the loudest sound in Europe. And that is why his Champions League penalties will never be remembered as just statistics. They were moments. They were declarations. They were psychological victories. They were ice.